Sweet, lovely Pisces, this is your horoscope for April 2025. April will be month when all the retrogrades will stop finally, and they will stop in your sign, my dear Pisces. Sorry. Now, it will be quite a lot of activity in your first house, in your sign, whole April. The universe wants you to focus on yourself, your plans, your vision, and in general how you look and how people treat you and how you want them to treat you. April 7th, we have Mercury going direct in your first house, and April 13th, a week later, Venus goes at the same spot direct in your first house. Now, it's amazing that these two planets finally is stopping their slowdown. But again, April will still not be the month to start to initiate anything new, anything important. Plus, making surgeries. For you, it's doubly important not to make any plastic surgeries, any drastic changes to your appearance, because this is happening in that part of your life. Now, if you missed Mercury and Venus retrograde, especially Venus retrograde video on my channel, go check that one. That's very important to you. But here I would like to mention that whole April will not be the month for you to do any plastic surgeries because Venus is planet of beauty and it's retrograding in your sign, my dear Pisces. You might regret the decision, you might not like the result, or you might change your mind. There are millions of possibilities, so you won't be satisfied. There is a huge risk on that. And Mercury is also communication planet. There are a lot of things you might be indecisive as well. Mercury adds up this indecisiveness sort of feeling when it's in your first house retrograding, and in general people surrounding you will be as well indecisive. One plus thing about this Venus in your sign is that its whole month is in your first house, granting you the beauty that you already have without any changes, my dear Pisces. You will be a shining star. You will be sort of a magnet whole April to surrounding your people. How they see you, like a star sort of, and you will have a superpower to convince anyone into anything. So April will be your month to make someone change their mind, for example, but don't change yourself. Beauty whole month, plus it's a blessing popularity. You will be attractive to everyone to surrounding you, and in general everyone would want to work with you, to speak with you. While Venus is in your first house. We all love Venus in first house. April 13th, full moon, we have in your financial house. Those of you who are born 13th of March, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most because it's hitting 23 degrees. Now, financial house, the part, those finances that are coming to you from some other resources as a help. For example, governmental help, I don't know, or maybe from your husband also, sort of family budget, or from your wife, or your scholarship or alimony. It's not the money that you earn. So that part of your life is affected by this full moon. Now, full moons are about conclusion. They bring conclusion, but they also put some spotlight, something into your immediate attention. Now, this full moon will be mixed one, and whole April is actually mixed. Universe will speak in secrecy to us, sort of, in guessing mode, sort of riddles. Now, sweet and sour full moon. Sour part is that Mars, planet of action, will be firing up your fifth house, but it will send sort of harsh beams, very strict beams to full moon. And Mars is situated in your joy house. Now, you will have to probably spend some money on something that you wouldn't want to spend. For example, it can be also about conception. if your situation that you are resorting to non-traditional ways like in vitro or adoption or something else, there will be scarce of money, sort of there won't be enough of money to support this initiative of yours. For example, seems like, or maybe there will be some sort of you might not like the procedure or the doctor, or something will be off, but most likely it will be with the financial context, or if you've been hoping that, let's say, for inheritance, again, you might not get that inheritance, my dear Pisces. And also, eighth house is about tax returns. You might hear some jarring news around these tax returns, and also bank loans. If you've applied before and you've been waiting for some news, again, here there might be some issues with that bank loans. You might not get rewarded, for example. And also scholarships. If you're studying, then you might lose your scholarship here. And also about alimony too. Like if you're in a divorce process, it's highly possible that you won't get alimony for your kids if you have them, or even the custody, for example. You might not get awarded like a custody over your kids or shared custody even. So there is some sort of friction, tension situation here. And eighth house is also about health and healing and some critical situation now, like surgeries, because Mars is about all things sharp, like knives, surgical knives, and it's sending harsh beam to your health house and critical situation, crisis sort of. So some of you guys might need, this full moon might show that you will need, you will require an intervention, medical intervention. It might be related to conception, like reproductive organs, for example, related to kids also, related to pregnancy, or you might simply find out that you're pregnant around this full moon, my dear Pisces. Pretty harsh full moon here. And also, it's now sweet part of this full moon. It's Venus, ruler of full moon, will unite forces with Saturn and Mercury in your first house. Now, all these planets will be circling in your sign, my dear Pisces, whole April. And Uranus will be acting like angel whole April. You will know why and when I get to the end of this forecast. Now, Uranus will send support to that trio, Venus, Saturn, and Mercury in your first house. Plus, Mars will send amazing trine, like supportive aspect. Now, Mars will be playing here double game. Mars will be sending harsh beam to full moon, somehow will not like the full moon, but will support its lover Venus, ruler of full moon. Mars cannot go wrong with Venus. Now, Mars will be in your fifth house and Uranus in your third house. Whatever will come up around this full moon, seems like you will find support in the face of your siblings or close to you people. It's about inner circle, like friendship circle and relatives or neighbors. Like you will get some word of support, my dear Pisces. Venus will be there and Saturn and Mercury will be there to support you. Like your friends and family and like your husband or wife or long-term partner, they will support you with whatever will come up around this full moon, my dear Pisces, because all those people are in your first house. And even Mars is there. Like Mars is ruling your house of values, actually, and financially and spiritually. There will be support, my dear Pisces. So no worries. April 17, we are having a huge thing going on in astrology, in humanity, and in our personally to you too. Mercury conjunct Neptune in your second house. Now, this never happened in our lifetime. We never experienced this energy. last time these two met in your second house, it was back in 19th century. So this is something new. Mercury on 16th of April moves into your second house, moves out from your sign, goes into your second house, and the next day on April 17th, it finds to its delight and surprise, most probably surprise, Neptune, because Neptune was never in your that part of your chart and life in our lifetime. Now, these planets, they blend well, and Mercury rules your house of family and house of marriage, like your husband and wife, long-term partners. And Neptune is your ruler, my dear Pisces, and it's in your second house. Such an amazing opportunity. Someone from your family is getting amazing opportunity, like a new job offer, for example, or maybe it's you who's getting a new job offer, which is amazing, which is long term, and most probably will make you work there for 14 years, because Neptune is going to stay in your second house for 14 years. So if you haven't checked a video, I have a whole separate video on Neptune in your financial house. Check that one on my YouTube. Check what kind of predictions it might bring into your life next decade, to be precise, 14 years. It's a karmic planet and it's bringing huge changes. And Mercury is like a first planet who's going to meet and greet this Neptune in your second house. And it might be also, as I said, your partner getting a job offer, for example, or you. Or it might be some purchase, some big purchase related to real estate, because Mercury is about real estate in your chart. Maybe you are buying an apartment, or maybe you're buying a house. Something here, it's not a good month to do so, but considering that all the planets finished retrograde, but still, you always need to give them time to move, how to say, faster and to get back to their normal speed. Well, that thing will happen only in May. So May will be much better month. So it's possible, postpone that purchase of house until May. Now will be amazing. You might actually find your dream place, like dream house or apartment that you want to live in. For example, it's amazing. It's gonna be like a sort of amazing united forces of this Mercury and Neptune happening in your earning sector. You might also forge some agreement to earn like long term something. Maybe you're signing some agreement. By the way, that job offer might come with relocation package, like might require you to move your base, like from, I don't know, to another city or another states, or even another country, most likely, because it's about countries, like changing the citizenship, for example. Now this is amazing what's going on here. And also it's about values, like priorities. Second house is about what you value in life, like your, maybe it's a friendship or maybe it's family. So here's something going on, like for example, you are getting married and now that will become number one, or your family is becoming number one. You might deeply understand the value of your family and value being a family, or having someone in your life like your sweetheart, whom you can trust and whom you can rely always on. April 18th, Mars moving into your sixth house. Now, this is another big thing. Time to earn money, my dear Pisces. Your chart is speaking about money too, quite a lot. Mars is action planet. It's a desire planet. It's sort of that warm, and that pushes us to do things, to get out from our place, from our home, and to go and achieve things. Now, Mars is moving into your sixth house. Finally, ever since 2025 started, it was in your fifth house, like firing your joy and plus in general your hobbies, your talents, and also it was about creativity, like modeling, dancing, and just being creative. Mars in the fifth house was about that. Now, Mars will make you focus on your work house, sixth house, after April 18th for the next 2 months, while it will be transiting there until June 17th. So, until June 17th, you will have Mars making you go work. You might get quite a lot of assignments, quite a lot of work at your current job, for example, at your company, or you might get even promotion, or you might even travel for work. Some business trips might happen here too. It's a Mars natural ruler of your earning income house, and it's in your work house. So, life might get quite busy around your work and assignments. Now, for some of you, it might be related to health. You might pay attention quite deep and more attention to your well-being, physical state, like hitting a gym or actively pursuing sort of active lifestyle. I don't know, maybe yoga or Pilates, or I don't know, something related to physical activity. Sort of, you might start doing physical, maybe running. I don't know. Mars is also about all things sharp, like surgical knives. Now, in a more negative aspect, it might be, six house is about our well-being and our physical body, and here it might give you some surgeries. You might require some medical interventions here too. From April 18th until June 17th, you might need some surgery too in some cases. But anyhow, better to think that it's time to earn money, my dear Pisces. Now, sixth house in general, it's about, obligations, taking responsibility, and solving daily sort of problems and assignments day to day. What we need to, we need to go there, we need to do this, we need to accomplish this, finish this, this kind of list of things that we need to do. It's all about, it's in our sixth house. So you might get quite busy around that. Mars has this quality to make us focus, to make us sort of make busy there. Now, April 27th, we have new moon in your third house. Now, new moons are about new energies, and this one is hitting 7th degree, meaning those of you who are born 25th of February, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most. Now, this new moon is a bit, again, not a bit, again, it's a mixed one, sweet and sour. Now, let's start with sour part. New energy will be hit with two planets with harsh angles from Mars and Pluto. Mars from one side, Pluto from another side. Now, between Mars and Pluto, there is opposition, and they both will send to this tender new moon harsh beams. And it's sort of like a triangle, in the sky. And new moon is in the center. Now, this new moon, will be in your third house, like communication house. Pluto, transformation planet, will be in your house of far lands, and Mars will be in your house of work. Now, there is a chance that you're gonna sign some papers for work, maybe to work somewhere far, or maybe to work like sort of, it will have shift kind of work too. You might have shifts like night shifts, or maybe online. You might have a work contract to sign that will require to work online, and most probably to a foreign company or with a foreign collaborator or with a foreign client. I don't know, something related to far lands. So someone who doesn't speak your language, like speaking different language from different culture. So there is good news, right? There is a possibility, but for some of you, it might be related that it will be possible, but then at the same time, you might not like the assignment, or you might not like I don't know, your manager, but then at the same time, you will have to take up this job because you will require money, for example. Now, sweet part of this new moon will be Venus, ruler of new moon, will conjunct Saturn and plus Neptune in your first house. Now, this trio, Venus is like blessing you a whole month in your first house. Uranus will be sort of angel, again trying to save the situation, will send amazing beam, planet of surprises, two ruler of the new moon, plus Saturn and Neptune. Now, Saturn will be in your first house, but Neptune will already be in your second house. But anyhow, very close enough to get the rays from Uranus and Pluto. So Pluto will play the double game here. Pluto will send harsh beam to that new moon, but at the same time will support Venus, ruler of the new moon, from your 12th house. So whatever is coming up, it will have that sort of sweet and sour taste. At the same time, you will be liking something, but at the same time, something will be off, and most likely related to signing contract or to communication project like podcast, or maybe, I don't know, Instagram page or YouTube page. Channel. Or third house, it could be also about siblings. For example, if it's not your situation, then it could be about your brother's or sister's situation, something going on there with their life. Or it could be also related to transportation, like a car. If you are buying the car, you might actually buy around this time car, or you might sell it actually, or even if you buy, something will be off. And I won't be surprised, because Mercury and Venus, even they went direct by the middle of April, they still need time to get to their full forces. So April, again, repeating, not the month to buy anything expensive, my dear Pisces. But yeah, life things happen. So you might actually have a purchase here related to transportation. Third house is also about our skills, especially those that we do with hands, like crafting, cooking, I don't know, some courses, some short training. It might be that you will need to take up some course here, like you will start learning new language, for example, because your work will require, or you will start some training also because your work will require, and you might not enjoy it, but then you will need to do that. For example, or it could be because, like, let's say you moved somewhere, relocated in some country, and you will have to go to some courses so that you will be able to communicate with your surrounding, your needs, let's say. Also, third house is about short distance travels. Now, some of you guys might travel around the end of April here. And again, it will be sort of mixed travel. You might travel for work and for pleasure, but you will manage to blend in the pleasure somehow. But still, you might travel somewhere that you've been before, that you know very well, my dear Pisces. Now, always check your rising sign, because rising sign 99% resonates more. And also moon sign and sun sign, depending what time you were born, depending on your natal chart, maybe your moon is strong. All in all, always make sure to check all three, because they might play out, all of them, in your whole month. Love you all. Bye bye.